Hey everybody, Audiophile Barista here. So I hope you like that little intro. This is obviously the FOSI Audio ZA3, and for those of you that follow my channel, you are probably wondering, why in the world do I have an amplifier like this? Because it does not fit with anything that I have. So why do I have it? Well, FOSI Audio actually reached out to me asking if I would like to do a review on their audio equipment. And obviously the answer was yes. I am an audiophile, so I am not going to decline such a nice offer. And no, I did not go over to the dark side. They are not paying me, but they did send me this review sample. But what was I going to do with this review? I mean, all the big boys have already told you that this is a great little amplifier.
Don't get me wrong, the FOSIs performed really good, okay? I wanted to hate them, but I don't. They're very good.
But the short version is that I think the ZA3 is very good for what you pay for it.
If I were in the market for a power amp at a reasonable price point, the FOSI Audio ZA3 would be on my shortlist.
This amplifier didn't just solidify my faith in FOSI audio, it redefined what I thought I knew about hi-fi audio.
We have the FOSI ZA3 here, so it's really good value for the money. It sounds so good. I highly like this amplifier.
And this is the ZA3 itself. This is absolutely superb. It sounds phenomenal.
These are the best amps you can buy.
And for the biggest part, I fully agree with these reviewers. For the price, this is indeed an amazing amplifier. But I did not want to do a review like that. So what I am going to do is to have the ZA3 compete against my main system. Now you may think that is not fair, and it isn't of course, but I do want to make this point. Listening to some of these reviews, you might think, why would I need to invest in an expensive system when I hear everyone raving about this little amp that I can get for 150 euros here in the Netherlands? And as I was curious for the answer myself, this is what I'm going to do. So let's look at the setup. I am using a CD-only setup for this review, and that is for two reasons. One, I could run the Denefrips Avatar CD transport for both systems simultaneously, so that minimizes the variables. And two, I could run the XLR connection from the Denefrips DAC directly into the ZA3. I tried the RCA connections on the ZA3, but if you have this amp, please use the XLR inputs. It gives you the better sound. So this is what both systems look like. The Denefrips Avatar CD transport into the Denefrips Iris 2 DA converter, and then via XLR directly into the ZA3. And for my main system, again the Denefrips Avatar CD transport into the Denefrips Iris 2 DA converter, then it goes RCA into the Ear Yoshino preamp and onto the Audion 300B Silver Knight power amp. Now my main system was of course played with my Auxilia loudspeakers, and the ZA3 has been played with a multitude of different speakers. So as you can see, I tried a lot of different loudspeakers, and I can tell you this amp will work well with all those loudspeakers. However, I would recommend to get a speaker that is a bit more easy to drive, because one of the things that I noticed is that despite all this power, the ZA3 did not really feel very powerful. Many times I had to open the volume knob pretty far, and a real powerful slam is not what this amp is about. But at this price I do not consider that a big con. Now there is of course a big price difference between these two systems. The FOSI system comes out at around $2,500 and my system is around $10,000 if we go by new prices. And that is without the loudspeakers, and at the moment my Auxilias are some $12,000 new. Now normally you might pair the ZA3 with something like a Wim Pro Plus instead of a $1,500 CD transport and a $900 DA converter. But after trying the ZA3 with the Wim streamer on the RCA inputs, the Wim does not have XLR out, the difference was so big that I thought it would not be fair to limit the performance of the ZA3 by using a lesser source, so that is why I used the Denefrips setup. Now let's skip right to the conclusion. My system is better. Period. And I will tell you what the difference is in a bit. But is my system better than the price difference would suggest? Well, heck no. As price performance goes, the FOSI ZA3 is the absolute winner here. But here's the thing. At 59 years old and being in this hobby for some 45 years, plus having already spent all that money, I would never change to an amplifier like this. This is just not the amplifier for me in my current situation. Now, if I could go back 45 years to being that 15-year-old boy that went to all the audio dealers to look at all those wonderful audio gear that I could not afford, man, if I had at the time something like this for a price like this, it would be a no-brainer to buy this amp immediately. So there's a thought. If you want to make your nephew happy and make him into hopefully an audiophile in the future, or if you want to help out a starting audiophile, this amp is just the way to go. For me, knowing what is possible in my system, I could not go back. So to be clear, I was really impressed by the qualities of the ZA3. It is very detailed, it gives you a sense of space between the instruments, the highs are very nice and the overall sound is very engaging. It does not have the scale and the spaciousness that my system brings me, and the level of realism is better in my system. And what I mean by that is that if a trumpet or any other instrument sounds like the real thing, the ZA3 comes a long way, but it is just no match for a $20,000 300B tube system. Now I am a tube and horn guy, so you would expect that a Class D setup would not tickle me. But Class D has come a very long way, and I would not hesitate to recommend this amp to all the people that have heard my system and said, I want that, but I cannot afford it. For those people, this is the perfect amp that fits the bill. And in conclusion, I would like to thank all the audiophiles at FOSI Audio for considering my channel to review one of their products. Let me know if we can do another one. And so we come to the end of this review. Do all the YouTube things if you had a good time, and I will see you in the next one.